Today, I want to show you what's in my gym bag. Hello, welcome back. So, it's end of the summer. Fall is pretty much here because it's freaking cold outside. But, you know, the sun is shining and I have a new video for you. Today, I want to show you what's in my gym bag. I don't always carry around all of that with me to the gym, but a lot of it, just in case. I've been pretty fortunate to be able to work out at my gym. The things that I'm going to show you are obviously things that you might not be able to use when you're doing your home workout. And I think it also depends on what kind of workouts that you usually do, because if you're not doing the exercises that these items are for, then there's no point in having it. I'm going to start out the most used item by me and the way that I work out, and then I'm just gonna like go down the list and I'm gonna tell you if it's like a necessity for me or just a nice to have, because I just occasionally use it. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like this video. Number one, Airpods. Yes. To be honest, I did not think that the Airpods were gonna be as good as they are. These are the second or third generation, so it's definitely not those like noise canceling, whatever newest thing is out there. I didn't think that I would like the design of them, and I never thought that I would be able to work out in them and like jump around and move my head up and down. These work. And I hate to say it because I don't want to support these like giant companies. They're good, but that's number one because I always keep that with me. Well, obviously I would always bring my phone as well, because on my phone I have my program and I have the music and I have sometimes timers. Oh, maybe I should talk about that too. What apps I use. When it comes to actual like workout equipment or workout gear, I'm gonna say this. Resistance bands. This resistance band is probably my absolute used, because for every leg day I do glute activation, squats, kickbacks, glute bridges, all those things. I use this band. Now I'm gonna warn you, do not go on Amazon and buy those like 3-pack thick resistance bands, because not all of them are good. I did the mistake my first time to get those and I was like, what is everyone talking about? These suck. They're so bad. You need to get the really good ones. Honestly, I've only tried the Gymshark ones, and this is the medium band, which works for pretty much everything. So if you just want to get one band, then I would go for the medium. And I'm pretty sure that all of these like fitness influencers are selling. I'm assuming it's the same quality, but I don't know, to be honest. I haven't tried any of them, but people rave about it, so I'm just assuming they're just as good. Do invest in one of these like thicker glute bands, because it will be worth it. I've had mine for so long and it's still, you know, holding up pretty well. Like maybe it's getting a little bit stretched out here, but it still works. This pad is probably one of the most used items that I have, because on every leg day, pretty much almost every leg day, I do hip thrusts. Because, you know, trying to build that booty. This really helps a lot. Just pop it on the barbell. When you put it on your hip bones, does not hurt at all. And it just makes all of the difference. I've seen people put mats and like folding it up, and it's just get one of these. They're cheap. The one I have is this bear. Bought it off of Amazon. I'm sure there's other ones that work just as well. I'm gonna link to the things that I'm talking about so that it'll just be easier for you to find it. I do have specific shoes for leg day. And I know a lot of these like fitness people, they use Converse shoes. I can't wear Converses because my feet are wide. It just hurts a lot. So just in general, I can't wear Converses or any other type of shoes that are very tight in the front. So for someone like me that has a wider foot and you still want to get that like flat bottom on your shoes, I have found that the Metcons from Nike work really, really well. I think this is the Metcon 5, and there might be a newer one or like a newer version out already. But first of all, they are pretty wide so they don't hurt my feet, and they are pretty much flat at the bottom, so no foamy sole or anything like that. Like very stable and very annoying to like walk in, to be honest. So I only use these for leg day. If you have like a long walk to the gym, I would probably just like bring these with me and change, to be honest, because they're actually really annoying to walk in. Highly recommended for leg day only. Or I mean, if you're doing upper body day, I guess you could still wear them because you're not doing anything. No HIIT workouts, no running, nothing like that. Okay. Continuing on the theme of leg day, for the longest time I wasn't doing kickbacks. I mean, sure, you can do kickbacks using this to get some type of resistance. If you want to use heavier weights to be able to like really target your glutes. And these ankle straps, you put this around your ankle like so, and it's like padded on the inside, very cozy. And then you close it off, and then you hook yourself onto the cable machine. And then with this, it's very comfortable, very smooth and easy to do kickbacks. And I got two because I don't want to keep switching in between because it just makes it so much harder. I don't know if they're usually sold in couples, but when I bought it, it was single, so I had to get two of them, so keep that in mind. This isn't necessarily like a must have, but if you know that you do a lot of kickbacks, side kicks, or whatever kicks you want to do, and you want to just be a little bit more comfortable, then it's definitely worth it. But there are other ways of doing the same exercise. You could use those handlebars to do kickbacks. I've seen people do it. Not comfortable, but it's possible. So it's up to you. I think for leg day, that's like the most used items that I have. Oh, I forgot to say, I wouldn't recommend using this for squats. So you know how like you would put this on the bar and then put the bar behind your head like this. It is possible, and yes, it does cushion it a little bit. What happens is that the bar will end up on like a very awkward place on your neck almost. But what you can do is, if you have the bar, make sure to slide the bar a little bit lower, like below your neck. So it's kind of like resting on your shoulder blades. With that, I've noticed that it doesn't really hurt as much. But if you do put it higher up, then it's gonna hurt your traps, push your neck, and not good. So I wouldn't recommend using this for squats. Hip thrusts, that's what they're good for. This is a tip for you if you're working out from home. I use these a lot. So these are resistance band, like long resistance bands, and I think the brand is like Spree, S-P-R-I. This is a little bit lighter, so great for upper body. This one is a little bit thicker, so you could do pulls for your back. If you're just a little bit creative, there's so much you can do with resistance bands. And I remember even for my lats and stuff like that, I would connect this to my front door, and I would just use this as if it was like a bar on a cable machine. So if you are working out from home, just getting a few of these, they don't take up a lot of space. I could definitely recommend getting a few of these bands. And you can also bring them with you when you travel, although we can't really travel that much. But the next item that I'm going to show you is something that I don't really use very often, but it's because I haven't been lifting very heavy lately, and mostly because of quarantine and working out from home and stuff like that. My gym is a little bit limited. It's pretty small. I just haven't really done a lot of heavy lifting, but I am trying to get back into it. So with that, I do use these lifting straps. I really like this brand, the Harbinger, which is the same brand as these ankle straps. I'm gonna link to it. So what you do is you put it here, put it on like so, and you tighten it over your wrist like this. And then when you go to like grab a dumbbell or a barbell, whatever you're doing, then you just like, it's so hard showing this. You just loop it around the handle like so, and then you kind of just grab it. And what you can do to even tighten it even more, you just like rotate it with your hand. It would be easier if I showed you with, you know, something. So if you know that your grip strength isn't the best, it's hard. Because for me, I know that like my legs or glutes or back or whatever it is can take higher weights, but my grip can't. And that's when this comes in really handy, because you get some help to hold that weight. And again, this is definitely not a necessity. So if you know that you're not lifting heavy, then you don't need this at all. But if you do want to get into lifting a lot heavier and you know you have a problem with grip strength, then I would recommend getting a pair of these together. They're great. Cool. So I think those were like the things that I regularly use, but I do want to get into a few nice to haves. And I guess it depends on like what your goal is and how you're working out. If you do have any injuries, maybe you want to like take care of that. So I'm gonna get into like the more nice to haves now. Jump rope. You know what's funny? I haven't used these in like probably a year and a half, but I want to get back into it. I feel like it's hard to find a spot in the gym to like jump rope where there's not anything in the way, the ceiling is high enough, and there's not people walking. It's such a good warm-up, if anything, or a finisher, or whatever you want to do, or in between sets, just to get your heart rate up. I really, really want to get back into it. I'm really gonna try it. I'm gonna put these on top so I don't forget about them. When it comes to gloves, I've never found gloves that really work well. More than anything, I just find them being really annoying and like bunching up and actually giving me worse grip strength. I can't really recommend getting gloves. I don't know. So far, I haven't found gloves that work that well. So I do also have these like yoga straps. Now this is a little bit too long. I used to use these for stretching my hamstrings. You know, when you lie down and you kind of like pull your leg against you. You can do other stretches with them as well, but I really haven't used them that much. And I guess they're more of like a rehab kind of thing. This is my problem. I keep buying things because I think I'm going to use them because, you know, I see that they're good for you, or someone tells me it's like, oh, it's good for this and that, and then I never use it. If you do a lot of stretching and you want some extra push or an extra help, then yoga straps would be the way to go. I have to say, one thing that I regret buying is this like liquid grip. I had a hard time gripping and actually holding on to like heavy weights, or if you're doing pull-ups on those like machines and your hands kind of like slide off. I never used it. But it's definitely better than the powdered one because I will just be all over the place. This still does stain, but it's a little bit more contained because it's liquid chalk or whatever it's called. Regret buying, but if you know that you need it, then maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. A few last things. This is more of the rehab type of category. Use it for your neck, for your back, for your shoulder blades, for your glutes, for your legs, for your calves, everything. And it's so freaking painful, but you just have to get through it. The size of it is so good because it really like gets deep into those areas that foam roller can't get to. If you know that you need to do a lot of physical therapy, rolling out like knots and stuff that you have in your muscles. This is something I kind of regret buying because I've barely ever used it. But if you really need to get in a very specific spot, then you have this little, I can't remember the name of it, but I'll link it. So this one can dig into your muscles very, very effectively, and it's painful. I don't know. And here's the twin of this one, but this is a little bit softer. It's like a hard foam. I don't know, but this is perfect for your back. So if you want to get to the chunky part of your back that's like right around your spine, so without actually touching your spine, this one kind of rolls out that area on the sides, which for some reason I get so tight there. I don't even know why. I totally forgot to film an outro, so I'm just gonna say right now, thank you so much for watching. And if you're wondering what the hell I'm doing right now, this is a massager and it feels so good. And it hurts. I mean, it hurts, but it feels so good. I can definitely recommend getting one of these. Oh my god. I will link to this one as well. It's from Amazon.